What's happening, guys? Happy Tuesday. Happy X-Plane VR Day. All of us who are into X-Plane VR are pretty happy today. We're using the Oculus Rift, and the Vive guys, Vive people, they got a fix today too, so they should be pretty happy. A few things remain to be corrected, but I think Laminar has shown that they're pretty dedicated to VR and getting it right, which is really, really good. Comforting. Think about what you paid for X-Plane 11. I was thinking about this today. $60 for X-Plane 11. And all of the value you get out of that, at least I've gotten out of that in the last couple of weeks, or months I should say, with VR. It's pretty astounding. And you can't help but think that these people are really dedicated to, you know, delivering a solid product to their customer. And I'm not a fanboy by any means. I don't get compensated by Laminar Research. You know, I paid for the software like everybody else. But I will tell you that I really do feel like I get my value out of it. Yeah, there's been some bumps and scrapes and, you know, issues that we've had to deal with and gyrations that we've had to go through. But I got to tell you that at this juncture right now with X-Plane 11 native VR, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Staggering value, Crasher. That's absolutely right. It's a staggering value when you think about it. And I was thinking about this today. How does Laminar make their money? I would imagine that they get some sort of royalty from third parties. It would make sense if they did. And I hope they do, because I think we want them to have a good revenue stream, that they can continue the great work that they're doing. And listen, if they were doing bad, I would tell them that too. You know, if they were having problems and issues, I would point that out too. But in my mind right now, for them, and I think someone posted this on the VR Aviators group, from them to go from, or maybe, yeah, it was Crash before. For them to go from 0 VR to where they are now, after releasing it Christmas time, and here 2 months later, it's pretty impressive. So, in any event, that's just my opening line here. But today, listen, celebration of baseball coming back. Now, I know a lot of you guys may or may not be into baseball. I love baseball. And I'm a Yankee fan, as you can see by the livery that I created for the SR20. And if you're interested in this livery, you can get it on X-Plane.org. Just search SR20 Yankees livery, and I think you'll be able to find it. But we're going to fly this plane from Palm Beach to Pompano, pick up a couple of people going to today's spring training game, although they're going to be a little bit late. Go Brewers. All right, Flyboy. Brewers have a pretty good team. And we're going to fly across northwest up into the Tampa area. We'll cruise around above George M. Steinbrenner Park, just to show you what it looks like in ortho, which actually looks pretty cool, except for some rogue trees growing around there. And then we're going to land at Tampa and go to the game. So, pretty simple day, but I wanted to get on here and do a stream because a lot of times, usually I'm at night during the week, and had some time today to do a stream, and I thought it would be great to have the folks from the UK and overseas on too. So anyway, and a lot to talk about. Good things, which is great. So, although they have to fix that teleporter issue, and we'll get into that. All right, let's get the flight plan out of the way here. And we'll go over VR Aviation numbers too. Give you an update on that because we're nearing the end of the month there. And let's get to it. Hockey and football. Okay, well, I like those too, but I'm a baseball fan, big time. Anyway, let's get to the flight plan. So again, we're heading from PBI, Palm Beach. We're going to head south to Pompano. Isn't that Pompano, PMP? Oh, no, we're going to Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, Pompano Beach, right. Pompano Beach, we've got 3 passengers we're going to pick up in Pompano, executives. And right now we're flying this for Bambino, but once we get there, we'll fly it for VR Aviation. And then we're going to head up north across the southern tip of Lake Okeechobee, which should be a nice view. Headed to the Tampa area, and what we'll do is we'll just basically cruise to the east of the airport here and check out the stadium, which is right around here. The football stadium's here, and also where the Yankees play spring training is right around here. And then we'll turn in and land to Tampa. So pretty straightforward 200-mile trip in the rather quick, didn't want to do that, in the rather quick SR20. So that's that. All right, cool. All right, let's get into this beast. First, let's get our tie downs all on and stuff. Let's get rid of that stuff. And we'll close the cargo door. And we'll get rid of the chocks. And close the co-pilot's door. All right, good to go. All right, let's hop in. I should have chat in the window, which I do. Beautiful. And we're cold and dark in the SR20, so we're going to get this thing started up here. Look at these frame rates. Unbelievable frame rates. I'm getting, I'm getting 38 frames, 39 frames per second right now. Gotta remember, I'm streaming. It's got AutoGen buildings right there. This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. All right, so let's get the battery on. And we'll set our, get the fuel pump going. Set the mixture up. We're going to put the throttle in. Let's clear prop. Plane is started. Okay, we can go down to turn that fuel pump off. And let's get alternator on, avionics on. Let's get our nav lights on, our strobe lights on. And we're good to go there. Now I've got to get my flight plan loaded. And this is going to look a little funky until I do that. So let me get this. Okay, flight plan is loaded. And we should be good to go there. We're going south. We're going to declutter this. And let's get that prop rotating at 100,000 RPM there. At 1,000 RPM. There you go. Beautiful. All right, we're not going to fly too high here. That glass looks gorgeous while off. Yeah, it's awesome. This is just... It's everything... Well, listen, VR is still going to get better, okay? It still has to get better. NFL Combine starts today. I didn't know that. But anyway, let's get things going here. So we're going to go put our flight director on. We'll fly at, let's see, where's my altitude? We're just going to go to 3,000. Or, sorry, 2,000. 2,090 is good. Let's get our vertical speed, and we're going to go up. Hold on. This is still trying to get the hang of this here. All right. Oh, you got to turn it. I keep forgetting how to do that. All right, we'll go up for 500 feet per minute. Let's get this set to CDI. Boom. All right, let's get our flight plan right there. There's our flight plan. Going to Jiminy and then Pompano to pick up those two people. Let's get our inset. Declutter that. Let's get our transponder. Set that to altimeter or altitude. Squawking 1200. Let's go back. And we're good to go. Everything's loaded, ready to go. Yeah, it'll always get better. The next, you know, it's just one step at a time. But let's take a look at this gorgeous Yankees livery before we take off here. Let's just look here. Now, for you folks that aren't Yankees fan, if you look right there, you could see all those years, and those are the years that the Yankees won the World Series. Every one of them. Pretty cool. And then you've got... on the wings here, I've got some of my favorite Yankee players. You've got the Yankee logo on the back there. The tail number has a significance, the 161. If anybody can guess that, they win today's prize, which is really nothing, but you can guess what the 161 means. It is Yankee related at the New York Yankees. So this was a fun thing to create. I really enjoyed creating this one. And I was looking forward to this day when I get to fly it. So... anyway, that's the, that's because they cheat. No. The Patriots cheat. Let's get that door closed. Isn't that laser pointer awesome? I'm really starting to get the hang of the laser pointer. It's awesome. All right. Shots fired. Yeah. No, 961 pennants. Nope. Good guess, but that's not it. All right, where are we in proximity to the runway? So we are... over there's our runway. Okay, cool. $161 pennants is not it. It's a good guess. But 161 has a significance to the New York Yankees. You can figure it out. You win today's prize, which is bragging rights. All right. Let's get FSEconomy loaded, because if we forget to do that, we all know what a pain in the ass that is. All right. FSEconomy is locked and loaded. Pardon me. Beautiful. All right, I just so everyone knows, I'm running 11.20 VR4, okay? I haven't upgraded this one to VR5 yet because I have my test system that upgraded to VR5, and that's what I did the video on, which was just as smooth, even though in the video I just put up this morning, I had ASW on. I didn't know at the time ASW was broken because they hadn't announced that yet. There you go. Rendezvous wins the prize. Absolutely 100%. 161st Street. There you go. Beautiful job. All right, you get the bragging rights, Rendezvous. Very good. Very good. All right, let me ask you, did you Google that or did you know that? Anyway, this is 11.20 VR4. I have VR5 on my test system. That's what I did the video on and testing. So even though ASW is not working in VR5 right now, it's still smooth as silk. But this is VR4, and it's smooth as silk. Google is my friend. All right. Well, I'll be honest. When I was looking for a significant, interesting number to put as a tail number, I Googled it too, because I knew they were on 161st, but I had forgotten. All right, so we're going to assume we have clearance here. We got plenty of gas. And we're going to go. Let's go. I hope V-Flight Air fixes those brake sounds someday because I can't stand them. Sorry, Mario, but I can't stand them. You just touch the brakes and they squeak. Or set our flaps to first notch. All right, here we go. I was recently told by a professor that it doesn't matter if you know more than others. It matters that you can. What matters is if you know how to get the information. That's how our world has changed. 100%. I mean, listen, it's good to have knowledge of things, but it's also really good to have knowledge of how to find information. And those who are really good at finding information win. All right, here we go. All right, nice takeoff. We'll fly the runway heading here, and then we'll turn to our south. 85 flaps off. And we're flying nicely here. One drawback of VR4/VR5 is that you can no longer use OpenVR plugin for OBS for when I stream. So what you're seeing is I'm back now to Oculus mirror, which when I move my head left and right, you get a little of those black things on the side, and that's not, I don't see that in the Rift. I just see that in the you just see that on the mirror, so that's unfortunate. I'm hoping that OpenVR develops a Oculus module. That would be great if they did that, because it really only has a Vive module. Autopilot on. Autopilot on.
Autopilot already off.
Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
All right. Take her up to 2,000. Daughter says, "Dad, will I ever use algebra stuff like when I grow up?" Dad, sure. You will. One day you'll have a child that will need help with algebra work. Now, I disagree with that, because if you're an engineer or a mathematician or some position that has to do with mathematics, you're definitely going to use algebra. Why isn't my autopilot working? Oh, because I don't have nav on. See, it's always pilot error. It's always pilot error. Like, why aren't I following the GPS route? And it's all because it's yeah, but financial advisors are different. You're not going to use algebraic algorithms and stuff. You're basically multiply your simple math, right? Maybe get into some ratios and percentages, but it's simpler math. But if you get into engineering, chemistry, stuff like that, you need it. You need that. So I'm going to disagree with you there. It's all about the buttons. Yep. And as I said before, the SR20 doesn't have a mode button, Flyboy, so we're safe. Yeah, you got to have stats. Absolutely. Hey, listen, if you're a baseball fan, you need to have stats, right? So glad baseball season has started. I mean, I know you guys, a lot of you guys aren't into it. I'm just so glad. And let me tell you, now that I'm running textures on maximum, it is so much more realistic when you look down. It's so much better. Because I was running on medium textures before with VR3, and it looked fine, but, you know, here I'm at 2,000 feet, coming to 2,090 feet, okay? Is our autopilot levels us off? Let's lean this thing back a little bit. Switch our tanks. Yeah, I would say it's incredible. When you have textures on Mac, someone was asking on the VR Aviation group on Facebook, is there a difference in increasing your textures? 100%. I was running on medium before, and at 2,000 feet, all these things would seem a little bit blurry. Now that I'm running on maximum textures, they all seem very realistic. Very realistic. As Al told Sapper Gaming, she wasn't listening. Buttons aren't toys. Oh, yeah. In any event, I love flying this plane. All right, so 42 is Mariano Rivera. 3 is Babe Ruth. You should know that. 15 is Thurman Munson. 2 is obviously Derek Jeter. And 23, right there, is Donnie Baseball Mattingly. And then over there, you've got 46, which is Andy Pettit. 4 with Lou Gehrig. 8 is Yogi Berra. 7 is Mickey Mantle, and 5 is Joe DiMaggio. If I could put Whitey Ford on here, I would have, but I didn't have enough room. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same way with typing. All right, what do we got here? It's a pretty quick trip. We'll be there pretty quick. And we're going to... I got us vectoring in so we're lined up with the runway. I appreciate you guys joining. So yeah, so VR4 comes out. I put it on my test system. I tried it. Now I had the alpha version. I'll tell you this, guys. Last week I had the alpha versions of this, so. They had asked me to test it out. I'm sure they asked a few other people too, but they go through a couple phases. They go the alpha, and then they go like it's basically I get sent a file that I just add to my test system and I run it, right? And then they send out the first beta to a group of people. Usually that email comes from Jennifer. They sent that out Friday, and then on was it yesterday? I guess it was. VR4 came out. So I had tried it and I was like amazed. Everything just went smooth because as soon as you went away from using SteamVR right into the Oculus SDK, obviously you're getting rid of a big stack. And it just made a huge difference, and all the judder went away. Even planes like the Quest Kodiak, which I had a lot of problems with, became amazing. So I started to look at it and I said, you know something, I need to redo my, because I had put up a video on how to configure VR3, which included SteamVR, and I said, I have to redo that. I tried to, just make a note on it or saying, hey, everything's pretty much the same as VR4, except there's no SteamVR. But I said, I really needed to redo it. So, was it this morning, I guess it was? I worked on redoing it. And once I put the video up, I check Facebook and it says, oh, there's a VR5. I'm like, oh, ASW doesn't work. I'm like, oh, no. So I go back to my, I boot up, no, sorry. Yeah, I did the VR, I'm getting confused here. So I did the VR3 video. Then I found out about VR4, then VR5 came out. And I did the VR5 video. That's what happened. I'm sorry, I got my things mixed up. So the VR5 video went up, and then I found out that ASW didn't work. And I'm like, well, wait a second. I set ASW to auto on VR5, my test system, and it worked fine. I'm like, okay, well, what's that all about? So this whole thing's kind of like brilliantly confusing. Like, the thing is, like, it all works, which is what we want it to do. But it seems like even though ASW isn't properly working, it still works fine. So like I said, I went back again to my VR5 system, and today, like, you know, once I found out that ASW wasn't working properly in VR5, and I spent a good hour flying around different areas, different planes, and it was absolutely fine. So I'm not sure what's going on. All I know is VR4 or VR5 for me work exactly the same. And I'm using an Oculus Rift, so it's all good news as far as I'm concerned. I guess that's the point of that dissertation there. All right, so we're going to come into Pompano. And the video I put up this morning is valid, right? That's basically VR5. That's how you can configure it. When they fix ASW, it's going to be how you configure it. So it's perfectly valid. There's our airport there. So, all right, let's take it off. Let's hand fly this in. Yeah. So yeah, because I had done the configuration video for VR3, knowing that VR4 was going to come out. So, you know, I didn't know it was going to come out that quickly, and it did come out very quickly. But in any event, the net result is, look how beautiful it is. Look how nice that is. So realistic. And that's what we want, right? The more realistic, the better. There's a lot of golf courses in Pompano, man. All right, let's slow this plane down. Gotta go pick up our passengers, and then we're gonna head over to Tampa. So I'm hoping that internet outage on your cellular. So I'm hoping you guys are having the same result with VR4, and for Vive users, obviously VR5, because they quickly fixed that problem, which is good. I gotta get this speed down here. It's gotta be at 120 to put the flaps down. Unless we want to land with no flaps, which we could, I guess. Tip that plane up to slow her down. Let's get that first notch of flaps. Here we go. That second notch of flaps. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was super sampling, because I learned a big lesson today about super sampling. And I don't know if it's because I just have going to go right through the autogen tree at the end of the runway. Uh-oh. Shoo. All right. We're going to just make it on there. Okay, good. I had to scratch my eye. Don't you hate that when you're landing and you got your headset on and you can't scratch your eye? All right. I know. What can I say, man? I can't go over it. I got to go through it. So super sampling. Now, like I said, maybe it's because I have there's a lot of things I'm working on or thinking about or whatever, because, you know, YouTube channel, Twitch and all that. But I never really took the time to understand what super sampling actually does or I shouldn't say, I know what it does. I mean, the resources that it uses. I always thought it was like basically a separate thing, but it's not. It's interrelated with whatever applications it's running, because it affects VRAM on your GPU. So you only have so much VRAM, and the more VRAM you have for X-Plane 11, the better it's going to run. Same with VR. So you can't have one hog. This is the way I'm interpreting it. not knowing 100% about it. Okay, let's go right here. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
All right, let me get these hooligans on the plane. Then we'll talk about super sampling. How much petro do I have? I'm going 166 miles. Let's go. So 166 miles. I got 36 gallons. It's gonna say I'm gonna need. Let's go say 180. It's gonna tell me how many I need, and I don't really always trust this, but it says 12 gallons. I don't trust that. I might as well go to. Let's go to 40 gallons. All right, 40 gallons. Should be plenty. We're departing with our 3 people. We're gonna fly this for VR Aviation. Beautiful. And that's it. Cool. Start flight. Aki, how you doing? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. I'm sure you're pretty happy with VR4, VR5. This is actually VR4. I was talking about that before. Let me get in the air here. Got a little bit of time to talk here because it's gonna take us a little time. All right, so we'll fly at 2,000 again. That should be fine. Or actually, yeah, 2,000 would be good because that's the nice height to see the stadium. So we got our people on board. And let's release that bit of flaps to the first notch. Let's release that brake. Might take a little bit to get these 3 people up in the air. With all this gas we got in the plane, but it should be good. Looking for 70. And there we go. And rotate. Beautiful. Look how smooth. All right, flaps up. Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
Take us up. Oh, I gotta put my, hold on. My bad. Let me go to vertical speed. You know what? Let's just hand fly it up. Just hand fly it up. So what I was saying was super sampling. So super sampling, if you guys don't know, what you guys pretty much all do know that are mostly in the stream, with the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, it's a way to improve the pixel density of the headset. And when you do that, it puts a strain on. It uses resources from your graphics card, mainly, right? So I never really realized how much demand it puts on VRAM when you do super sampling. And there's a couple people on, this is why the VR Aviators group on Facebook is so great. There's a couple people on there, very knowledgeable, more knowledgeable than me about the ways that it works, the Rift works internally, that were saying that you don't want to go above like 1.5 super sampling, because when you start to go above that, it's diminishing returns. Like for the resource that you're using, you're not getting much benefit. There's not much difference between 1.5 and 1.8. Okay. So I kind of always, I guess I half like didn't believe that for whatever thick-headed reason. And I always ran at like 1.8, 1.9 for super sampling. And then finally the light bulb went off when someone mentioned VRAM, and I'm like, you know something, I never thought about that. Maybe looked at it a little bit further, and it puts a strain on the resources, which can affect X-plane. because there's only so much VRAM, right, in your GPU. I think mine has 11 gigabytes. So in any event, I said, let me lower super sampling. And I lowered it to 1.5. And, or I should say, I lowered it to 1.7. And I started to see some frame rate improvements. Let me go down to 1.6. Frame rate improvements. And the visuals didn't really change too much. Not really noticeable. 1.5. Even better frame rates. Okay, well, let me now bump up from high textures to max textures. Frame rates are still cranking. Still looks good. I said to myself, these guys are onto something. So the lesson there is, even if you have a 1080 Ti, you don't want to over super sample. You don't want to over super sample. 1.5 is really where you want to be, because beyond that, you're getting, it's diminishing returns. You're not getting the resource, for the resource you're using, you're not getting that much benefit. And now I can run at maximum textures, and I'm getting 30 to 45 frames per second, which is what you want all day long. In fact, a lot of cases 45. Like that Mooney plane, the AFM Mooney plane, I'm getting 45 all the time with that plane. Except if you're in a heavy area like New York City or Seattle with a lot of autogen, then you're going to have, some issues like that. But for the most part, it's pretty consistent frame rates. So the lesson there is never assume. And I'm really glad that Donald and Kim on the VR Aviators group chimed in about that, because it helped me understand it, and it caused me to have to go redo. That's one of the reasons why I redid my configuration video, because I always want to make sure that I'm giving people the right information, and that was important. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of set the record straight on that. So let me get my let's get ourselves on track here. Now, if you have a less powerful graphic card, let's say like a 1070, then you probably want to be at like 1.3 super sampling. Okay, you got a 1060, you probably want to be at 1.1, and that 1.1 is only going to get you a 10% increase in pixel density. But I mean, it could make a little bit of a difference. But you have to be very careful. How many hours showing in my logbook? On this plane? Oh boy, I don't know. I don't think it has a meter on it, but it's a lot. I could tell you that in the 1900D, I've got 140 hours. In the PC-12, I've got 45 hours, because those both have dials on them. Cessna's probably in the 70s, 80 hours, maybe 100 hours. This plane's probably 100, maybe 120 hours. A lot of hours in VR flight simming. It took me that long to realize the reality about super sampling. We're going to come to Lake Okeechobee pretty soon here. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably, I'm totally estimating, but I would guess it's probably 300 hours of flying in VR. Probably more than that, actually. I mean, if I've got 145 in the B1900D, right, and 45 in the PC-12, there's 200. I've probably got, let's just say, at least 100 in this. There's 300. I got 100 in a Cessna. That's 400. What else do I fly? Seminole. It's probably close to 500. Probably close to 500 hours. That's a lot of time, man. But that's in like over a year, That's a lot of time. Even over a year, that's a lot of time when you think about it. And most of the time enjoyable, but now even more enjoyable. Although I will say that I'm going to have to tell V-Flight Air that this plane seems to have like a plasticky coating now on the front part of the instrument panel ever since VR3. So they might have to do some work on their graphics. I know they are coming out with a new release. They're planning a 2.6 for this plane that's going to be VR ready, which would be great. But for the most part, most of the stuff works, right? So are you guys experiencing the same? Oh, he said it's great. That's awesome. Yeah, I would hold off on VR5, Aki, because they said today that ASW doesn't work, even though I tested on my VR5 system and I didn't have any issues. I wasn't getting any judder or anything, and the frame rates were really, really good. But you might as well wait. They're going to probably come out with 6, and it's going to be fixed. And I would bet that they do that within the next couple of days. So. All right, so a couple other things. The Mooney M20R. That's the advanced flight modeling plane that those folks gave me a copy of to review, which I'm going to be reviewing. And we have been flying, and Coop, who's the developer, has been in chat, and I've been in contact with him. Those guys have kindly offered to do a VR Aviation livery for us. Now, Coop is a member of VR Aviation, developer of the AFM, Mooney. So he kindly offered to do a livery for us. Now, they have custom livery services that you can pay for, so they're actually doing this as a benefit, which is very nice of them, and I really appreciate that. So what I'm going to be doing is, hopefully, when that's done, we're going to be doing a VR review of that plane to show you all the functions of it. I like to do that with any VR ready plane, but I'm looking forward to seeing that livery. It should be pretty cool. Coop, if they do so, those guys have some nice liveries of their planes. If you look at their site, Advanced Flight Modeling, they've got some very nice livery work. So I'm looking forward to that. And I was flying that plane actually today because those guys, Coop actually donated a Mooney and FSE to us, the M20 Bravo. Yeah, isn't that cool of them to do that? It's really cool. He donated his Mooney, or I should say, leased his Mooney to our group, to the VR Aviation group. And it was in St. Louis, and I flew it 400 and some odd miles today, northwest, to get it up to BTM. So it's got about 620 miles to go. So if anybody wants to take over and fly that up there, it's there for you. Let me switch my tanks here. Look at all those. It's probably, what they're growing down here? Corn, tomatoes. A lot of farmland. Wow, look at all that farmland. Amazing. All right, so let's go over VR Aviation numbers. All right, so one more day left in February, and I will tell you that, let me pull this up here. Give me 1 second, guys. Pull up a link here. I will tell you that in the contest, right now, Era is leading a contest. He has $1 million in income for this month, month of February. I'm not in the contest, but I've got 839,000, which isn't bad. 20,000, almost 25,000 miles. I've got 20,000 miles. Look at his flight time, 171 hours. Sapper's in second with 530,000, and Flyboy's in third. So you three guys are stand to get 10%, 6%, and 4% of the net number, which I'm going to show you right now. Let me show you that. Before I do that, I should say that, you know, Grunge Buddy, Crash, N73, Quasme, you guys are all flying a tremendous amount, which is awesome. And it's great. It really is great. It's awesome. Is that about 25%? Well, I'll show you in a second. Let me get to the numbers here. So if we go to banking, right now we've got a little over $1.2 million in cash right now, which is great, and ever increasing. You guys are doing a fantastic job. So we can get to the point where we can get ourselves a nice size FBO in the Northeast, hopefully, and maybe buy a couple more planes. Kind of like storing away the nuts here, so we can make some big moves on FBOs. In any event, so we're doing great there. So if you take a look at the monthly statement for February, $5 million, $5.1 million in total asset income between all of us. We've got 30 active pilots, 35 active pilots, 1.6 million, almost 1.7 million. This number here is what the bonus will be paid on. So winner will get 10% of this. The second place will get 6%, and the third place will get 4% of this number right here. Okay. Now let's take a look at our operations from aircraft rentals, and it's pretty damn good. $100,000 from a rental income. That's why it pays to have those rentals, because people outside the group are renting those planes, and we're making money on that. And then our FBO operations are profitable too, almost $100,000. If you're going to get your plane fixed, or you need to do a 100-mile or 100-hour checkup or whatever, make sure you bring it to one of our FBOs so you can spend the money, keep the money in the family, if you will. All right. So right now we bring in another $80,000, $79,000, and we're covering everything we did this month, including buying 2 planes. We bought a Baron and we bought a chopper, a 407, and paying off. I think, didn't we pay off BTM for like $450,000? We did a lot of stuff this month, and we're going to end up in the positive, which is great. So the group is really doing well, and it's really fun to watch. So it's fun for me. I really enjoy it. As far as aircraft goes, take a look at that. So we've got the B1900D, which brings in nice revenue down the Charlotte area. The Baron, which we own right here, the Baron that we lease. We're going to keep that lease because people are definitely flying that. The one lease we're going to get rid of is this one here. We don't really need to have two caravans in at BTM, so we're going to get rid of this lease. So this will save us a little money every month. Then we've got the Mooney Bravo that right now is in BBW. That once we'll get it to BTM. It'll be really cool flying that plane in the mountains. It's going to be fun. Oh, that's cool, Crash. Yeah, that's fine. It's great that everyone's flying. That's what it's all about. Let's take a look at the log here. But we've got, Flyboy. I did a lot of flying today. Flyboy, the B1900D. He owns one. He owns that, and he has the PC-12 in Tampa, which I rent quite a bit. But I might give you a little competition with a PC-12 down there. We'll see. And then let's see, Grunge Buddy, Era's flying. MK84, Brian Holm, which is sim pilot. CK Acres doing some work down in Charlotte. Sapper, Milo. Although Milo, I think Milo left my plane at the... Did he leave it there? No, he brought it back. Good. Someone brought it back. Let's see. Who else? X-Ray made a flight here. Goldbeard, Crash, N73, Coop made a flight in the Bravo, which is nice of him. So we get some very, very nice participation, which is awesome. And that's what it's all about. I think everyone's having fun with it, and that's what it's all about. FBOs haven't changed. We're the same on the FBOs, although we are still trying to find a larger FBO in the East. we may add a two-lotter in the Montana area. We have our eye on one that might become available. I'm going to keep that a secret, and hopefully we can pick that one up. But this is staying about the same right now. We're looking at an FBO maybe in Virginia, down this area here. So we'll see how we expand that. But again, we're sort of saving that cash so we can make a big purchase. And we still have an eye on the UK. Oh, the other thing is, I forgot to mention this. We go back here. Aircraft. Megaphone, who's one of our members, was kind enough to donate donate a Skyhawk to us, and he actually used his Challenger, created it up, and flew it over to EGCC, which is Manchester. So now Manchester's got a lot of flights here. I'm actually going to go, I think, try to fly over there. So now you can rent this plane over there for $0. He wants to leave it at $0. That's fine. Please make sure you leave it in the area, but it's there to fly and to hopefully make us some money over in the UK. So thanks to Megaphone for donating that plane. It's awesome. Appreciate that. And that's the update from FSEconomy. Let's see. Let's see. What happens when you leave a plane in the middle of a field? Well, you have to bring it to the airport. Like FSEconomy knows by location, like probably I think they use GPS coordinates in X-plane to know, or whatever your FSE or FSX or X-plane, whichever you're using, to there's Lake Okeechobee, by the way. See it right there. It knows where you are, so you have to bring the plane to the airport. If you bring it to the middle of the field and stop, it's not going to think that you completed the flight. Yeah, I noticed that too, Sapper. It's a ways away. I thought I was going to send you a note, and I forgot. Let's take a look at that. Let's go to VR Aviation. This is Sapper. Where is it? This is Sapper's Cessna that he leases to the group. Yeah, I mean, this is a long way away. I don't know how it got there. Let's take a look at the log. So remember, you flew it back here. Someone flew it way out. I remember you flew it back, and then it's been basically slowly finding its way outside of the network. So I don't know. X-Ray had it at K-Jack, and X-Ray was a member. Okay, he's a member of the group. Maybe he's been flying it back. I don't know which direction that is. All right, cool. Yeah, maybe X-Ray brought it closer to K-Jack. So, is that Bay Media? This is the V-Flight Air SR20 that I'm flying right now. I'll show you the plane. This is the V-Flight Air SR20. In the New York Yankees livery, which I created, actually. If you want this livery, you can get it on X-Plane.org. Just search Yankees SR20 and it should come up. Here's the shores of Lake Okeechobee. Man, that looks great in Max textures. Looks awesome. Yeah, you're a Red Sox fan? Oh. Flyboy, your plane, I tell you what, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to put a bigger bonus on it. My plane, my PC-12 that I have at LaGuardia, I have a $1,500 distance bonus on it, and it usually will find its way back. And if it doesn't find its way back, I have to fly it back, I get $1,500. So I would put, because I think you only have like 300 or 400, I can't remember. And someone keeps flying your plane out of Florida up to like North Carolina and stuff. So I would say put $1,500 on it. That's the way I would do it. Hey Sosa04, how you doing? So if you're interested in flying the Skyhawk back to BTM, how would you go about doing that? All right, so if you're a part of FSE, and hopefully if you are, I'm not sure if are you a member? I don't remember. It's hard for me to remember everybody. Let me just see. Yeah, you are. I'm sorry. So yeah, so what you want to do is you want to go to the airport that airplane is at, and rent that airplane there. So if you go to, let me pull this up here. If you go to this airplane, all right, and go to this airport, okay, and there's the plane right there. That's the Skyhawk 172AB, all right. Just rent that plane, and then fly for VR Aviation, and then, you know, basically fly it back to BTM. Now, I don't see any jobs here, but you might want to go to Jackson, and you might be able to pick up a Jackson Hole. You might be able to pick up a flight. Yeah, there you go. Take it to KJack, and there should be flights going to MT2, then there to KBTM. That's exactly what you should do. Good job. Thanks, Sapper. So yeah, that would be great if you did that. That's awesome. Yeah, sorry, it's hard for me to remember all the folks that are members, you know. But I appreciate you offering to do that. It'd be great. All right. So we talked about the Mooney livery. I'm really looking forward to that. I want to see what those guys come up with. This should be pretty interesting. So we also have the C172 livery contest. Okay, so if you go on my Discord, Bambino VR's Discord, okay? And in the announcement, VRA announcements, I talk about the 172 livery contest. What we're doing is we're looking for people to design a livery for VR Aviation for the 172. That's the Laminar 172. Using the colors for our logo, which is, and the information is in the announcements. The winner's going to get $20,000 in FSE dollars, and your livery will represent the group, which would be awesome. I know a couple people are entering already, so your chances are probably pretty good of winning. You know, it's going to be judged by Mike and myself on design and design quality and originality and creativity and all those things. So we'll judge it, and we'll pick one winner, and that'll be fun to do. So go to my Discord, Bambino VR, and actually if you type in exclamation Discord, should come up. There you go. Go right there, join the Discord, look in VR dash Aviation, that channel, and you'll find the information on the livery contest. All right. And also, Sapper is giving away a XP Realistic and a copy of XP Realistic and a copy of Plane Command, the two prizes that he won in my 10K giveaway on YouTube. He's giving those away because he already has them. He's got a lottery going, so check out his Discord for information on that. Sapper 17 Gaming. You can get information on that. Oh, let's see. Who's hosting? Crash Dizzle is now hosting. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Don't you like that video? Oh, you got entries now. Cool, cool. Yeah, it's basically a lottery system. So you buy a ticket for 5,000 FSE dollars, and you've got a chance of winning those software plugins. So check that out, and be pretty cool. You know, listen. Plane Command's a must for VR, 100%. So make sure you check that out. All right. The March Pilots Contest. So we're coming into March, and we're going to keep it the same. It's going to be the same way. It's going to be the top 3 gross assignment earners. So, and the number 1 will get 10%, number 2 will get 6%, and number 3 will get 4% of the net assignment income. So that's assignment income after all expenses. Okay. So, you know, you can see this month's going to be a pretty nice payout for everyone. And so that's the incentive to... you need to buy another ticket. Yeah, you should. There's only 4 entries. You got a good chance, Crash. You got a good chance. Buy another ticket. And I should say that Sapper's kindly going to be donating all the proceeds from his lottery to VR Aviation. So all that money, all that FSE, all those FSE funds will go to VR Aviation, which is really cool. So anyway, starting March 1st, we'll have the March contest, and again, it's going to be pretty much the same as we have set it up for the last time. So that should be fun. And Crash Sapper, his Discord is Sapper17 Gaming. Oh, what account, Crash, that do they need to send the money to? There you go. There you go. All right, so we got that happening, which will be good. And for those of you who maybe joined late, I put up a settings video for VR4, VR5. It's on my YouTube channel. It's pretty simple now. This is for Oculus Rift users. It's pretty simple now for both Rift and Vive users, and also Windows mixed reality users. I mean, there are some that are probably going to be using Fly with Lua. I don't use Fly with Lua and the 3J FPS script. I don't use it. I don't really feel a need to do that. Now that I'm getting, 35, 45 frames per second without that stuff, I don't even use it. And I just, what I don't like about those scripts is that it has the kind of like the scenery kind of ghosts itself, and then it shows up as you get closer to it. I don't like that. I'd rather the scenery be drawn and then me fly into it, so it's like realistic that it's there, right? So in any event, if you want to check out that video, it's on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, I've got a giveaway coming up. Working on the video now. It's for the Mooney M20R Ovation 2 and 3. Compliments of advanced flight modeling. Again, those guys are putting up a Mooney that I'm going to be giving away on my YouTube channel. And I'm working on that video now. I should have that video up in the next day or two. So that's a nice giveaway. One person's going to win that plane, which is pretty cool. So in any event, yeah, and that's right there. That just came up from bot there. If you're not part of the VR Aviation group, which I think pretty much everybody in the chat right now is, but if you're not and you're interested, make sure you go to all groups on FSE and search for VR Aviation and join the group. All we ask is that you fly a minimum of 1 flight a month for the group. We hope you fly more than that, but we ask that you fly 1 flight a month. And it's really about the camaraderie. There's a lot of great discussion on my Discord channel. I have a Discord channel set up specifically for the group. And there's some good chat and some good discussion and stuff. And got some pretty cool things coming. Like one of the benefits is going to be Mike and Quasmi, who are both members, are working on a super secret system for members to be able to get very, very lucrative money-making flights. And they kind of shared a little bit of that earlier this month, but they're working on something that's really cool that's going to help people get those valuable, lucrative, high-netting FSE flights. And so that's pretty cool. So, and we're working on a few other things. So there's going to be some real benefits to being part of the group. So make sure you go to FSEconomy, search all groups, and then look for VR Aviation. Hit the join button, and we'll get you in and get you flying. So that's that. Sorry, I'm just taking care of something here. I'm having problems with one of my streaming apps. There's a thing called Stream Labels that updates the. You see above my camera there, it says latest subscriber, latest follower, latest donation. I have a little app that updates that, and for some reason it's not updating, so I got to figure out what the hell's wrong with that. But I guess I'll do that another time. Yeah, Yankees fan and a Jets fan. That is rare. Usually it's Yankees Giants, right? And Jets Mets. I don't know why that is. I mean, I've always been a Yankee fan. Always been a Yankee fan. And I've always been a Jets fan. Don't know why. Although the Jets kind of pissed me off lately, but, you know, is what it is, I guess. I really didn't watch a lot of football this year. I don't know about you guys, but I just, with all the national anthem protest stuff and all that outside stuff, I was like, I don't know. It just kind of turned me off, you know? Plus the fact that the Jets really kind of stunk. Yeah, I know you're a Jets fan. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next year. Like I said, I'm more of a baseball fan anyway. Weren't the Lions decent this year though? I thought they were decent this year. Like I said, I didn't follow it, but I thought they were pretty decent this year. Although I know they've had a lot of drought years for sure. Like Tampa. How about being a Tampa Buccaneers fan? Yeah, I agree. It was a big distraction, Sosa. A big distraction, and it was kind of a put off in my mind, you know. Yeah, well, that's the Jets too. Well, the Jets they're decent for like 3 games. They're decent for 3 games, and then they move down. You know, then they fall apart. All right, so are you a Patriots fan, Sosa, or no? What football team? Oh, you're a Giants fan. Okay. Yeah. So you're Yankees Giants? So all right, so what do you think of Russell Wilson going to spring training? I was like, "What?" But then I started doing some research on it, and the guy played 2 years in the minor leagues. He played 2 years in the minor leagues before he went to play football. So it's not like, you know, he's doing a Michael Jordan, right? He played 2 years in the minor leagues, and he actually hit I think he hit like 230 or something like that. But I guess he's an outfielder because, you know, I would assume he's an outfielder. You can't get over being called football. Oh, because, you know, well, we call that game soccer here, Crash. That game where you kick the round ball, that's soccer. You know, when you hit the ball with your head, that's soccer. I don't know why. It's someone decided to isn't soccer like a South American? No, South America they call it football too, don't they? You follow football more than baseball? Okay. Yeah, I'm the opposite. I follow baseball more than football. Russell Wilson, I mean, listen, the guy's an amazing athlete. And I just think to myself, well, what happens like when they get to like August and September and NFL camps are starting? What does he do then? And then let's say the Yankees make the postseason, and he's playing until like the end of October. What does he do then? I mean, remember what's his name? Deion Sanders played baseball and football. I distinctly remember there was one game in the fall where he played a baseball game, got on a jet, got on Jerry Jones' private jet, and they flew him to Dallas so he could play football. He was on the Cowboys. He was an amazing athlete too, Deion Sanders. Wow. But no, Wilson is an amazing athlete. Bo Jackson. Oh my God. Didn't even think of Bo Jackson. What an amazing athlete he was. Holy crap. Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. This guy is not. He does not have a position this year on going north from Tampa. There's no way. There's no way. I think he said it's not a stunt, but I think he knows that it's not probable. And he said basically it's been a lifelong dream, although he did play in the minors, but, maybe playing for the Yankees was a dream for him. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, he played rookie A ball, I think, for 2 years. So, I mean, 229 in rookie A ball ain't great. You better be hitting 380 in rookie A ball to have a chance of going up to A and maybe double A, But I will tell you, Crash, you were talking about soccer, football, your football, our soccer. It is becoming more and more popular in the U.S., that's for sure. The professional soccer leagues here are becoming more and more popular. They get really, really, really great crowds. I know that. I mean, it's a great game, soccer/football, but it's, the problem with it is that Americans, we're like, we want that instant gratification. So we like high scoring games, Basketball, there's so much scoring. Football, they changed the rules, so there's so much scoring. Hockey, okay, well, there's not as much scoring, but there's a lot of shots on goal, right? Baseball, the home run ball, I mean, there's less scoring than the other two, but there just seems to be a lot more scoring than soccer. Soccer just doesn't have a lot of scoring. And yes, soccer aficionados will tell you it's the strategy of the game that they love the most, and baseball aficionados will say the same. Because if you don't understand, if you're looking for the instant gratification with soccer and baseball, let's say, you're going to get bored pretty quick, Last 25 years, little kids playing soccer every summer are starting to pay off in America. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a huge sport in most towns. I mean, I tell you, the town I live in was a baseball town, big time baseball town. And then soccer and lacrosse kind of took over the last 10 years, I would say. It really started to take over to the point where they're having a hard time fielding a high school baseball team, which is sad, You're all into motorsport. That's cool. I like F1. I love F1. Hey, you guys have the champion F1. What's his name? Why does his name escape me? The young kid that drives for Mercedes. What's his name? He's amazing. What's his name, Crash? The F1 guy from the UK. A bunch of grass fairways. Yeah. What's his name? The guy, the F1 driver from the UK that won the championship this year. He drives for Mercedes. Why can't I think of his name? Do I have to Google it? You guys don't know? Let's see. F1 champion. F1. Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton. That guy's an amazing driver. Oh my God. That guy's amazing. It's like he never loses, the guy. And his teammate, I can't remember his name either. I think he's from Germany. I think. Maybe he's Finnish. I don't know. He's amazing too. But I love watching F1. It's a lot of fun. To me, that's real racing. F1 is real racing. Indy's okay, but F1 is real racing. It's the most demanding racing I think that there is. Just, I love watching it. It's here, it's on here, but it's like, you know, who has it on? I can't remember which. I have a DirecTV. I can't remember which channel it's on, but it's always on like 2 o'clock in the morning, so I have to record it. But I watch every race. So are you mainly into F1, Crash, or yeah, NBC SN, correct? Crash, are you into F1 as well, or F1's the big motorsport in the UK, right? Yeah, sure, of course, you could post it. Now, my son is an auto tech. He, well, he's a aspiring auto tech. He went to school. He's working as an auto tech, and we watch F1. This kid's amazing, my son. Bikes and Le Mans and endurance. Okay. Yeah, Le Mans. I remember that movie with Robert Redford and Steve McQueen. Did you ever see that movie, 24 Hours at Le Mans? It was made in like probably the early 70s. They were driving the Gulf Porsches. You ever see that movie? It's a great movie. I saw that. Yeah, that's an excellent movie. Yeah, no, it was wasn't Redford. It was Steve McQueen and hold on. Why can't I think of his name? The guy who was in Color of Money. Paul Newman. Thank you. That's a great movie. In fact, I gotta watch that again. I watched that when I was a kid. I'm telling you how it shows you how old I am. And I loved that movie. I saw it in the movies. My father took me to see it, and then it was on. Remember, it was on TV, and I was so excited because it was going to be on TV. Is it appropriate for me to pull up on the stream because we have a few minutes here? Is it appropriate? Yeah, let me pull it up on stream here. Whoa. That's cool, man. I didn't know those bikes got air like that. That's sick. Holy shit. That's awesome, man. Have you That's pretty cool. Have you tried the what do you call? Is it Ride? The motorcycle racing software, and I think they have a VR version. 209 road races there. Oh wow, that's pretty cool, man. Oh really? SM, the man in Le Mans. Okay. Hey, Boeing engineer Mike, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining. So I know Paul Newman was into racing, and I know Steve McQueen was into racing too. I'll have to check that out. It's called Steve SM, the man in Le Mans. I'll check that out. Let me just. I'm gonna copy that and remember that. I was a big Steve McQueen fan. Great Escape. Remember in the Great Escape when he jumped that motorcycle over the barbed wire? Well, the first one, and then the second one he got nailed into. He was cool. Steve McQueen was cool. Steve McQueen was cool. Yeah. Hey, check out the livery, buddy. Check out the livery. What do you think? Nice, huh? A C90 Yankee? Eh, maybe. We were talking about this before. What do you think of Russell Wilson going to spring training? And I didn't know this, but he actually played 2 years in the minors. I didn't realize that. But yes, I love that. I'm gonna see if I can watch that Le Mans movie again. I keep thinking I want to do it. But you know, Crash, we were watching that bike video. My son wants to get a bike, like a crotch rocket kind of bike, one of those, you know. You like the numbers on the wings? Yeah, they look pretty cool. I don't think he's gonna make the team going north, though, Mike. I don't think he'll make the team going north. He played 2 years in the minors, like rookie A ball. So I don't really see him going north of the team. You know, he said it's not a stunt, but he said it's something he always wanted to do his whole life. They all try, none will beat Bo. No, Bo knows baseball, Bo knows football, Bo knows everything, man. Bo is awesome. What a great athlete. Oh, he didn't do the jump? Yeah, I figured he didn't do it. Oh, the Bullet Mustang from the guy who owned it. Wow. That's another great movie, Bullet. Oh, I didn't know he was only there for 5 days. I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, so it is kind of a stunt then. All right. So nothing to get excited about. Yeah, I mean, listen, they should have a really good team. I'm sure you and I are probably the only Yankee. Well, actually, Sosa's a Yankee fan, so we're probably the only Yankee fans here. But I'm excited about the season. I really am. It was really nice the other day. Although I don't know why today the game's not on, but it was nice the other day, Friday, I guess it was, to just watch baseball a little bit. You know, it was cool. When spring training starts, that's when you know things are going to start to warm up, you know? It's a cool feeling. I didn't realize it was only for 5 days. Yeah, you know what? They don't show all the spring training games on. Well, they'll show the ones that are for the Yankees that are at Steinbrenner Field. But I think pretty much a lot of the away games you're not going to see. Yeah, I didn't realize it was only 5 days at spring training. I was thinking that when I was seeing this, that you were going to have this fight inflated to the screen with it. Oh, no, 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 no. I can't do that. If I did that, I'd have copyright issues on YouTube and Twitch. I'd get banned from Twitch for doing that. I can't do that. I'll watch it in the cockpit. Well, I guess I couldn't watch it in the cockpit because it might show. But no, no, no. Can't do that. Can't show that kind of stuff. But it's just nice having baseball back. All right, so we need, if you guys, hey, Brendan, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Yeah, MLB Network, yes. MLB Network. I watched them, yeah, I watched them too, Pick a Five. So let me guess, Pick a Five string. So are you a banjo player? Let me use my Matlock skills to deduce. Are you a banjo? All right. Because I'm a guitar player. I've played a little banjo in my day. Little mandolin. Played a little fiddle. Back in the day when I was into bluegrass music, I kind of experimented with all of them. Settled on guitar. Been playing guitar for a very, very, very long time. But always loved the sound of a banjo. Always did. Your name gives it away. Pick a five string. Steve Martin, great banjo player. You know who else is a great banjo player? Ed Helms, the guy who was on The Office. Wilson plans to spend a week working out with the Yankees, but will not play in any exhibition games for fear of injury, although he is not prohibited from doing. All right, so then when they asked him if it was a publicity stunt, he said no. So, whatever. It's meaningless then. Why even pay attention to it? He's not going to be part of the team. Yeah, Ed Helms is a talented guy. I have a feeling that Ed Helms looked at Steve Martin as a role model, because he's a lot like Steve Martin in a lot of ways. You know, he plays banjo. He's got the comedian thing. You know. Yeah, I think he took BP the other day. Okay, so that's cool. I got you. So it's a bucket list thing. Wanted to do it. Well, did he want to do it with the Yankees? Because he's been in spring training before if he played rookie ball, right? So I guess he wanted to do it with the Yankees. Let's go outside the plane here. Oh, always wanted to. Well, doesn't everybody always want to be a Yankee? Okay. Isn't everybody's favorite player growing up Jeter? Yeah, if Jeter's his favorite player, right? He's in his mid-20s or late 20s. Russell Martin. Russell Martin. He was a Yankee. Everybody loves Jeter except Boston Red Sox fans. They don't like Jeter. Yeah, the one thing I don't like, well, not that I don't like, I missed on having that Open VR plugin because it's much better than Oculus Mirror. You can see if I move my head, you can see those black stripes on the left there and right. That's because Oculus Mirror is pretty awful. Born in 1988. All right, well, you know what? God bless him. God bless him. All right, I'm going to get in the plane here because we are getting close to our destination, Tampa. And I want to fly over the stadium, and I got to make my right-hand turn right now to do so. So let me get a little closer here to the... All right, let's see here. Yes, I'm running VR4. This is VR4. Absolutely noticeable performance increase, 100%. Yes, you will absolutely enjoy this release. It's incredible. You could just see how smooth it is. Pick a 5-string. This is actually not the SR22. It's SR20. It's from V-Flight Air. A smaller third-party developer. It's a great plane. I've had this for a while. I wouldn't touch Carenado's SR22. I'm sorry, it's just not a very good plane. It's not optimized for X-Plane 11 at all. It's got issues with sound and stuff. It's really an X-Plane 10 plane. So, but this plane's really good. It's the V-Flight Air SR20. And flight is FLYTE, V-Flight Air. Yeah, 505, Assassin, get your Rift back, man. It's going to blow you away. All right, I'm pretty sure I know where this stadium is. The Yankee Spring Training Complex. So we're going to kind of slow this plane down a little bit so I'm not ripping across here when we go past it. You know, since we're bringing these executives to the game, I figured we'd fly by the stadium and show them the stadium. Kind of cool. And then we'll hang a left-hand turn to land in Tampa. Now, there's Tampa Executive to our east, but we're taking these people to Tampa TPA. Did you see the preview of VSAT layouts updates? No, I have not. Visible icing and visible damage. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You're in Cape Town at the moment, so no flying. Oh, Cape Town. Wow. All right, so there's a stadium right there for the Buccaneers. Hey, 505. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. VR5 is out for sure, and but VR4, there's not much difference between 4 and 5, other than the Vive works. Vive works better with 5, but in 5 they broke ASW for the Rift, even though it still runs fine for the Rift, to my experience. So I'm sticking with 4 on my main system until 5 is updated. Right, there's the Buccaneer Stadium right there. And if you look right there, there's the Yankee complex right there. You see the main field. It's got, see the trees? It's got the trees growing in it. George Steinbrenner Field, and it's got the spring training fields. Those two fields next to each other right there. Get the flaps up so I can slow the plane down a little bit. I was saying to myself, I'm amazed they only have 4 fields like that. I mean, really, those fields right there, they probably use for infield practice. I don't see where they have their pitching practice area. Oh, that's over there. I see it right there by the main field. Because I've been to Cardinals complex in Jupiter, Roger Dean, and they've got like 6 baseball fields. It's much bigger than the Yankees. I mean, really, they have 2. If you think about it, they only have 2 large fields there. Someday I'll get down there, check it out. But I just wish those those trees weren't in the middle there. See the trees? All right, that's George M. Steinbrenner. I think it's M. George M. Steinbrenner Stadium right there off the tip of the wing. And yeah, that's where the Yankees play. All right, so let's I'm gonna hang it right here. Yeah, this is ortho. This is near the airport. Zoom level 18 within 5 kilometers, and then everything else is 17. So that's why that looks pretty crisp. Plus, I have textures. Trees imply it's off season. Yeah, I guess so. All right, I better get the boost up here. Pissing off the neighbors flying at 400 feet. All right, we're gonna fly out here. We'll do a base turn into, and we'll land at Tampa. You're trying to convince your wife to go. Actually, my wife said she can't wait to go to spring training. I'm like, what, really? She's looking forward to it. I'm like, that's awesome. So my plan is that when I retire, to spend at least 2 weeks at spring training. Rent a condo, spend 2 weeks. Spend 2 weeks at spring training. It'd be awesome in Tampa. Do a little traveling. Travel to a couple of home game or away games. Be lots of fun. All right, we'll make our base turn here. Wonderful thing about the SR20 is it's got such good visibility. All right, assume we have clearance. We're going to turn final. We'll land in that little GA runway there. I don't know which one it is, but that second notch of flaps in there. Yeah, no, I'm good on spring training. So I can't wait for that. It's going to be fun. And how cool would that be if you had an SR20 or SR22 that was made up like the Yankee logo stuff and you flew it to Tampa? That'd be pretty cool. Like in real life. Would that be pretty cool or what? Now, who has a road there on the runway approach like that? That's an autogen issue. A road right there. All right, so we got to remember the SR20. Coming in at about 75, a little low there. Stall warrant. Oh, that's the marker. All right, bring her down, flare her out, and put the prop. Flare her out and prop to idle. Ooh, that was kind of rough. All right, but nonetheless, we made it, so that's what's good. Clean the airplane up. Call Uber for our passengers. Get them over to Steinbrenner Stadium. Or Steinbrenner Field, I think it is. I think it's a field. Get them to their FBO. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
All right. Similar, but I used to watch NASCAR pretty regularly. My wife would go to Daytona. Well, that's pretty cool. That's good, man. Yeah, that icing sounds really cool on the DC-3. I just can't get myself into flying that plane. I know you guys love it. I don't know. It just doesn't. Packs can help cut down the trees free of charge. All right, well, we made it here. Let me turn off FSEconomy. Let's figure out how much we made. Oh, do we want to do a... I'm not sure. Let me show a replay of that. Hold on. Let's finish FSEconomy. Let's get to... let's do replay. Oh, hold on. Let me do... let me get in the cockpit. You like the pinstripes? Let me tell you how long those pinstripes took me to do, man. It took me forever. This plane was a labor of love. All right, watch this. Ready? Are you guys ready for this? This is gonna. Let me get the chat out of the way. Hold on. All right, here we'll do it that way. Here, watch. And you don't get the sound on the SR20. A little bouncy, not that great of a landing, but we'll take it. We'll take it. All right, let's do this. Hold on. Oh, it got a little sound. Not the greatest landing, but we'll take it. All right, cool. We get to here. And I don't get either way, whatever you guys want to do, just send it to him through Discord. All right, let me show you how we did here. Go to log. VR Aviation. And Bambino, we didn't. It's not a lot of money, but man, we made $1,100 for the group, which is nice. Not bad, you know. Plus, we got to see George Steinbrenner Stadium or baseball field or whatever you call it. So, in any event, before I go, I want to make sure you guys check out the VR Aviators group. Okay, just search VR Aviators on Facebook and check it out. It's a really, really great place if you're interested in getting into VR streaming or VR flight simulation. And make sure you check that out. Also, on Reddit, I've got VR Aviators subreddit. Check that out too. Some good information there for people. Especially, I'm keeping a list of payware planes that are VR compatible or X-Plane 11. So we'll be keeping that up. So it's good to follow this if you want to bookmark that. Check it every once in a while, or get a notification. I think you can get notifications on new posts and stuff. But it's good information there. So in any event, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys joining me on this afternoon. Let's get another look at that Yankee livery here. Hold on. Let's get a look at that Yankee livery. There she goes right there. Oh, let's go this one. That's better. All right, guys. Listen, happy Tuesday. Hope you guys have a great evening. I appreciate you guys hanging out. And we'll be talking to you guys soon. All right? Nice meeting all you guys that are new to the stream. Pick a 5 string. So you think it's the first time you might have been in the stream, even though I know you're a member. Let's see who else we got here. 505. Thanks for the follow. Thanks to all you guys for participating. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun today. All right, guys. Have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.